Hello everyone and welcome to the Monday message for Monday, November 9th, 2020. This is Darren. Hey, I want to let you guys know that there is a ton of stuff going on around the building today. Right outside my window here, they're getting ready to start up the new HVAC units, and all of the piping and all the wiring and everything has been done. We're still on a temporary HVAC for master control, but that should be going away soon as everything is up and running. So you'll hear some drilling, some hammering, all kinds of things are happening around here today. So it is very exciting. So let's start out with some NorCal notes. And in our NorCal notes today, we actually do not have any birthdays or anniversaries, but there are a couple of things. Like I mentioned, we have the HVAC units going in, so that's very exciting, and they look great, and hopefully they're going to be very quiet. They're right outside my window, so it'll be great to have those instead of that loud one that we've been putting up with for a long time. Also, Studio J, we are going to be using Studio J as a place to set up for our radio upgrade that we're doing. So that radio upgrade is going to have a lot of equipment, a lot of wiring, and Fred, the engineering staff, Mike Roberts, Ken, and Diversified, who's the vendor who's doing the work, are going to use that as a staging area. So in the meantime, we're going to move our conference room activities from Studio J down to the volunteer room. So we'll be cleaning that out this week and getting it all ready to do some meetings. On the video conferencing front, KRCB NorCal has signed up as a member of Zoom through NIDA, and so you'll be seeing a lot of Zoom conferences instead of GoToMeeting conferences. I know that came up in a few of the employee evaluations and what folks have been saying around the organization, that everybody likes Zoom, so we're gonna give it a try and hopefully it'll work out for everybody. Now, the rest of this message, I want to do a little bit of a show and tell about things that are going on, especially on the TV side of things, during this week that you may not be aware of. First of all, NHK and NorCal have been partnering for, oh my goodness, it's about a year now, on a couple of environmental specials called Zeroing In. And so Joshua has been our point person on that. And we've been sharing a lot of our footage and stories from Bay Area Bountiful and Health Connections as well with NHK as they put together this series. So the first two episodes, the pilot episodes, are airing this week. The first one, Zeroing In, is The Power of Youth. That's the first part, and that aired on Friday, November 6th at 1:30 and also at 7 p.m. The next one is called Sharing Our Bounty, and Sharing Our Bounty airs on Wednesday, November 11th at 5:30 and also at 11:30. So remember, those are programs that are going to be on NHK, so let's take a look.
Welcome to Zeroing In, Carbon Neutral 2050. I'm Catherine Kobayashi in New York. People the world over have spent months fretting about the dangers outside their doors. Young people see other hazards out there. They worry about the enduring threat of climate change. Some are doing everything they can to stop it. Today, we zero in on their efforts to make our activities, our routines, our lifestyles carbon neutral by the year 2050. Our guest has felt the effects of climate change. He visited the Arctic, walked on melting tundra, even saw something he never imagined he'd see there, a butterfly. That experience inspired him to launch the talk show Climate One. Greg Dalton joins us from San Francisco. Thank you very much for being with us, Greg. So much of our collective attention has been focused on the coronavirus.
And that was the opening of the very first episode, which is called The Power of Youth, Zeroing in Carbon Neutral 2050. So that's a very exciting partnership project that we're involved in. Also, this weekend we aired a program called The Bay Area Arts During the Pandemic. Now, this is a half-hour program that Karen worked with Gladson Martins on. It came together beautifully. Yinka got it all captioned and ready to go on the air. And what Gladson Martin is doing here is he's talking to the folks who run the arts commissions in Sonoma County, of course, also in Oakland, San Francisco, and in San Jose. So it is a great conversation, a really good show. If you didn't catch it, you can catch it online. And again, it's called Bay Area Arts During the Pandemic.
Many arts organizations are facing a challenge during the pandemic. There's so many questions to be answered. In the South Bay, the director of the San Jose Office of Cultural Affairs, Carrie Adams Hapner. Denise Bradley Tyson, she's the acting director for Arts Commission for the city and county of San Francisco. In the North Bay, Kristen Madsen, she's the director of Creative Sonoma. And in Oakland, we invited Roberto Bedoya. He's the cultural affairs manager for the city. There's so many challenges we are facing now because of the pandemic. How to reopen safely, and how city officials can help them to do so.
And the final show from this week is called Breath of Life. Now, Breath of Life was put together as an independent production by our new producer, Rick Bacigalupe. And of course, we've been working with Rick for many years on Bay Nature and on Bay Area Bountiful. Now, this program looks at the legacy of the language of the native peoples of California and how they're struggling to keep those languages alive in our modern age when they aren't being spoken. And so this program first aired on KRCB on Sunday, November 8th at 2:30, and it will air on KPJK on Wednesday, November 11th at 9:30. It's also going to repeat on Saturday on KPJK, November 14th at 5:30 p.m. So let's take a look at Breath of Life.
Once you meet somebody who's Indian from California, in my case, who's Ohlone, it's hard to say that we're extinct. My language is called Chocheño, and that's the native language of today what we call the East Bay of San Francisco, and it's been spoken for thousands of years. We haven't had a fluent speaker in our language in about 70 years.
The native term for Mother of the Earth, it's Aman Makwarep. Aman, it's mother, Makwarep is our earth.
That's not to say that we don't have speakers now, because I consider myself amongst the first new generation of fluent speakers in our language, which is exciting. At UC Berkeley, ICLES, the Advocates for Indigenous California Language Survival, hosts the Breath of Life conference. These Breath of Life conferences have been going on for several years now.
What are you saying, Mom? I don't understand. Whatever.
It aims to connect Indian people with resources, archival materials.
You need to at least be able to say something in our language.
So that people can revitalize languages in meaningful ways.
So say this. Haine shiraus minok.
What does that mean?
It means I don't want to talk.
And finally, for the Monday message today, going back to the employee survey, last week the supervisors of departments all got together. We had a really good video conference where we laid out the findings from the employee survey, and we're making plans for how supervisors are going to be able to address the concerns that came up during that employee survey. So you'll be hearing from your manager, your supervisor soon about things that your department can do to make sure to address the concerns you have about working from home during COVID. So we're moving forward on that as well under Amy's leadership. So thank you, Amy, for keeping all of that going and keeping us all together and on the same page. So happy Monday, everyone. Stay safe, stay strong, work together, and I'll talk to you soon.